So it seems like everyone is mad at Dungeons and Dragons. Why, and what are we going to do about it? Let's talk about that. Hello and welcome back to the lab. This is BBE Genesis and I am your host Matthew Holden, and today we are talking about D&D, Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro, and the controversy surrounding all of them. If you guys don't know, Wizards of the Coast recently released an update to their open game license. Now, their open game license is essentially what allowed all of these other creators to use some of the rules from Dungeons and Dragons without them being able to take legal action against them. It essentially waived a bit of their rights to the system so that other people could make third-party content, homebrew content, publishing their own stuff, and essentially giving D&D a longevity that it never had before. Its explosion over the last decade is entirely based upon that open game license. Without it, Critical Role doesn't exist. Without it, Knights of the Old Republic, most of the RPGs we know nowadays, wouldn't exist. And they're trying to remove that. Well, not remove it. They're changing it. They're changing it so that anyone who has something with the open game license needs to now pay up to Wizards of the Coast. It is like if YouTube suddenly came to all YouTubers who had a Patreon and said, okay, everything you make from Patreon or everything you make from your shop, any merch sale you have, 20% immediately goes to YouTube. That's what they're doing. On stuff that you probably paid for, on stuff that you created, put time into, and it's not okay. And it's threatening the livelihood of a lot of people. And it sucks. It's hurting the community. And so the community has very justifiably been outraged at Wizards of the Coast. This is a big step over the line. It is a greedy step. And it's a betrayal of trust. Because they've said before that they would never touch the open game license. Now, I can jump into it, and I would in another video. But this video is not about exactly the changes they made. That's kind of the gist of it. But you can look up, so many people are talking about it. You can look up so many better YouTubers than me and understand that like the things that they're saying is all about the open game license. So far, what we know is that it's true. Kickstarter has come out and said that, yes, D&D has talked to them about it. There was another leak actually today, which I will get into, because the repercussion of them having this open game license leaked to the community is immediate outrage and a huge lashback from the community. Today, when I'm recording this, we figured out that Wizard of the Coast is doubling down. They are saying that it doesn't matter. All of this lashback, all of the, the justifiable outrage, they don't care about it right now. They're they're bunkering down, they're doubling down, they're waiting for the hype to end, and then they're going to force this through. And I think that's a good strategy for them. Because this entire lashback that they've been getting from the community has been entirely based off hype. And hype ends. Hype dies down. And I think Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast has looked at all of their competitors, and not even their competitors, like other companies that have done stuff like this. They've done these greedy moves, and they're looking at them and studying what they did wrong. And what they did wrong was they didn't wait long enough. Hype is temporary. And if they just wait out the hype, they will be gold. They can wait out the community, wait until the hype dies down, and then force this through. And it's a good strategy. And it's clear now that boycotting D&D and pressuring them in the ways that we have been is not working. They're willing to take the hit. So what do we do? Well, from where I see it, they want a cut of the pie. They want to take money from creators. They want to make sure that creators, like, that they are able to get that money from creators. They can't take money from creators that don't use the open game license. So what I propose to the community is that we find a third-party system that does not use the open game license. A lot of systems use the open game license. My favorite system, Icons, uses the open game license. So we need to find a third-party TTRPG system that does not use the open game license and start making content for it. Barrage it with content. Make it the biggest thing in the shortest amount of time that we possibly can. Why? Because it will prove to Wizards of the Coast, it will prove to Hasbro that this community is not loyal to them. We are the consumers. We take their products. They make products for us. They work for us. That's not the other way around. And if creators on this platform that we love are going to be sued out of existence, then we're not going to stand for that. And even though Dungeons and Dragons is a great system, it is a long-standing system, it's not the only system. And it's not the best system either. So, I think that we as a community need to band around a single entity. An entity that deserves that. And show Wizards of the Coast, once and for all, that they can't treat this community like another one of their playthings. That we have a loyalty not to them, but to our friends, and to the creators, and to the community that surrounds TTRPGs. Because we were outcast once, outcast because of D&D. And if D&D is also going to outcast us, well, we've been down that road before. So, if you agree with me, if you think that this is the path that we need to take as a community, please share this with as many people as you can, with as many people that you believe can take active steps towards it. Because I think this might be our only way of fighting back. This might be the only way that we actually knock some sense into Hasbro and into Wizards of the Coast. With that, I'm a little tired. That was a bit of a tirade. I'm sorry that you had to listen to me rant for so long, but that is something that I needed to get off my chest. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that Wizards makes the right decision. And if they don't, there are other RPG systems out there that deserve love. And if Wizards is going to abuse the trust we give them, they don't deserve the creators that they have. I'll see you all whenever I see you next.